All right, cyber traders, good afternoon and welcome on back here this Monday, July 11th, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Welcome on back here for our afternoon meeting. Great to see Leda, Steve, Norman, and the likes of all of us here inside the cyber group room. Great to see you all. Great to see us all back on social media, Facebook Live or YouTube here. Markets beginning to pull back down. Things were looking all right, at least heading into the mid-afternoon, just after like 1 o'clock. The SPY started to make a nice little squeeze back up then. It was like really flat after 10:30ish, and then right now beginning to take a dip back down. So there's actually a couple of good short opportunities that we were calling out recently just before the meeting started on Shopify and Neo. But there's a couple of things making a nice move up right now, right? So to begin, the KSPN, at least on the screen, it's up God knows how much percent already, right? Up over 182.3% and counting. So this right away we'll put on our watch list. It's still very active at this point. It's certainly much closer to the highs compared to its lows, compared to any other stock that we're really looking at right now. I'd say aside from MREO, right? But KSPN here, at least it's still holding pretty strong. All right, maybe not for long, but that's where I say be careful. So right now it seems like we know where resistance is or was from earlier. I was going to say 715ish, 720 was pretty strong resistance, at least going into 2 o'clock. But yeah, just held there pretty nicely and had a massive shake back down. So I know a couple of us were just in and out on that trade a moment ago. Robert just got out right now. He was in from 689. Got out at 719 right before the shake. Smart move. Now, Robert is more of a scalper, right? He'll take several trades across the day, and some like decent for 30 cents, 50 cents. But his intent is at least to like get to a certain point profitable and just get out, get in, get out quick. So you'll see him take a lot of trades, post them in the room, but that's his goal for the most part. So he got out right in the nick of time, right at the right price, right at the right time. Nasty shake after. So unfortunately, this might be the turning point for this thing. Let's watch support going into this meeting right around that 625-ish, 620-ish area that you happen to see there on the 5-minute chart. I was also going to say, given how much this stock popped and then dumped off going back into the beginning of last year in 21, you could see on the daily chart, we've been seeing this so frequently lately where, for these stocks that make these like big drop offs over a period of time, whatever news came out on the stock, it's just to say, like, if this can make a fraction of the type of squeeze it made back in the beginning of last year, then that's a home run. That's exactly what we would want to look for here. And it's already doing that, already did that. So, we're going to put this on our list still. At some point, you knew that this was going to make a bit of a shake back down, whether it be right here, whether it be at 3:15 in the afternoon, whether it be at 3:45 in the afternoon, or close to the market close. So KSPN, hopefully this picks back up, but we'll see where this is at the end of this meeting. We'll put this on our list to at least begin. Now, with that in mind, we are continuing the Phase 1 stock course later on this afternoon, right at 3:05 Eastern Time. It's like you're listening to me, Rich. He is, of course. I appreciate him doing that very timely for that matter. Post the link right in the chat board right there for all of us, like Norman and Robert and Brian, etc. If you're looking to join the phase 1 stock course class, just later on coming up in the next 15-20 minutes, make sure that you click the link. We'll begin that class officially right at 3:05. All right, so of course, KSPN on our list to begin. Hopefully that picks back up. But the PLRX was really the star of the morning, right? This thing was, a huge runner in pre-market leading into the open. And it's to say, though, that, hey, for this stock to make the run that it made, you definitely want to be more cautious than anything at the market open and wait to see, what happens. If this makes a big drop off and pull back, that's actually expected given how much this was up leading into the open. Well, this ended up making a huge pop right out the gate, obviously, right? Ended up getting halted within the first couple of minutes. So I really want to take the time to go over something like this in tomorrow's Traders Talk workshop. More so like how to react to a stock that makes a very unexpected move after the open. And I say that from my point of view, but that's the point of view that we kind of preach here for a stock that's up as much as PLRX was leading into the open. Just to say you would expect a little sell off, little profit taking, and then perhaps the big slingshot, the big pop after. So, how do you react to that once it does the unexpected, once it actually makes a huge pop right away and throws you off? So, we'll talk more about that from A to Z inside our Traders Talk workshop tomorrow. But yeah, this thing ended up making a huge run up afterwards, ended up pulling back, then running back up pretty nicely. But for right now, I mean, hey, it's still like active, it's shaking around a bit. But in the grand scheme of things, it's already made its big move on the day. Unless if this really explodes by the time the meeting ends here, then I'm not going to be too interested in it. You know what I mean? LJPC, this thing is a buyout. We're going to skip over this for right now. I doubt that's making a move. If it is, I'll be shocked. Let's keep it going though. Otherwise, so market's like dropping off a little bit here off the last peak. So we'll go across both sides. I don't know, if there's anything in particular from our side list that's down big. Actually, that's a lie. That's a lie. I'm sorry. How could I forget about my Neo? Right, Neo is actually down over 8%, near 9% right now. So that is one that is on our side list that is actually down a decent amount. DWAC and Fun were on the morning watch list at least to begin, but they were both duds. Neither really made a great move, unfortunately. TBLT, same thing. This just kept us like, just teased up until 10:15, 10:30 Eastern when we started class. It ended up, trying to make that break over the opening print one more time, like right off of 272. Then from there, ended up failing to break higher. It tanked. And then obviously from that point, I'm not too interested in it here. If it suddenly makes a giant squeeze off 250, then again, same to be said here as I just said before on the, PLRX. All right, so MREO I'd called out right before the meeting started here. So, at the time it was pushing up pretty nicely, right? Trading 2.1 million shares at the time I called it out. It was trading about like, 10,000 shares a minute. If you wait too long, right? So this was looking good at the time I called it out, right? Ended up making a nice little squeeze off 150. Even if it pulled back at the time from when I had called it out, then you'd look for 150 to be a cleaner support level. So it actually did a pretty decent job just lifting right on up. But for right now though, I wouldn't be surprised if it does make that pull back closer to 150 before a potential squeeze up higher. It does have an order on the ask that Norman called out at 159 for about 32,000 shares. Yeah, I mean, for right now, that I would definitely expect to be resistance. It peaked at 160. Then on the pullback, that order came in. So, I would definitely look for that pullback here on the MREO trade, but just more of a level one stock, right? It does not hurt us to put this on our watch list at this point. Might not hurt us to put Viru on our watch list at this point. Ended up making a nice squeeze up early this morning. Ended up, dropping off, held under and over from 14, and then made a nice gradual trend back up. So easily enough, we'll put this back on our list. Just peep the daily chart. This thing is getting pretty close to breaking above some, historical resistance back from April, May, June. So for the last several months, it's been kind of holding right around this range here, around 1550, 16-ish. So if it breaks that, I mean, geez, I mean, we know this thing ended up running back from the end of 2020 into 21 when we first started following this trade. So, we would have to go back there to see where the next, big historical level is. But more importantly, we would have to look at level 4, book map, or level 3 if you have it. Otherwise, we're teaching that more this week and next week than anything in the classes. So, we'll be digging more so into level 2 today and more level 3 over the next few classes. So Viru here we'll put on our watch list either way in hopes of this making a new run up here into the close. All right, let's see what else we got here. We got OCFT. It's like up like near 7%. It's actually at the highs of the day, right? It's like kind of right there. The stock we ended up trading from last week. That's why I clicked on it at least here before jumping over to loser side. This thing ended up making like a weird little push up at the time, so I wanted to see similar to the Viru if we could break above those resistance levels, above those highs. So I'm just going to shoot from the hip here and say 220, 223. Well, 223 being the close here back from the 6th. Yeah, I'd say that would be pretty strong. I mean, that's oh, it's not weekly close or any of that, but 223. I mean, that's a daily close, and then the next day it closed. I think same price, 24. It's there right now. So I would look for a pretty strong push on this trade. Now, the issue on this stock, Norman, the issue on this stock It's only trading about 3,000 shares a minute. That's not really a whole lot for what I want to look for at this point. So that's where I was thinking MREO is trading more volume per minute. It was like, 10, 11,000. So that's like, at least what makes the difference in what I look for in a call out. If that's like kind of, how you're picking my brain. So this right now, I mean, hey, if it ends up making a push up, more volume getting filled, then I'll be interested. All right, let's hop on over to the loser side right now. That MREO is looking actually really nice at 162 right now currently. Hopefully anyone's in that trade for like, 4 cents, 5, 6 cents already. You don't want to chase it. BLI took a huge hit here today. It is shortable. It's at the lows, but really flat. Not a whole lot happening right now over the last like several hours. So I'll pass on it. Uh, DOCN, I was going to say DocuSign, but Digital Ocean Holdings ended up dropping off earlier today. This thing's down big. I mean, it's starting to make a nice little dead cat bounce right now as we speak. FSLY, Fast Fly, we followed this one in the past too. Just looking a little lackluster right now from my liking. It's only trading about like 5,500 shares a minute. Eh, we've seen better. Peloton, how about Peloton here? Peloton, all right, this is at the lows. It's a little slow right now, but it's hovering over big support off of $9. I would assume that's all time. Yeah. All right. So give me a quick sec. So all time low is back from like a week or two ago here from like 873, 874. If it doesn't break it today, I'm just saying it's still very interesting of a trade to follow, especially if the markets continue to stumble off here into the afternoon. So the Peloton trade, I don't mind just putting on our list here. It'll be a little slow of a move. Not expecting like a giant fast, 40 to 50 cent drop off in like 5-10 minutes. If I get it, God bless. But if this ends up, just breaking below support at 9, that's the first step here. Just got to skim up here on the loser side, see if there's any other familiar names that look good. Laser maybe, Tal maybe, but I feel like Tal's gonna be too slow of a short. All right, let's go over some of the side list stocks here, and then if there's anything else, perhaps making like a big run up, by any chance, let me know. Definitely not impossible today. AMC was going up pretty nicely before, moving with the S&P to a great level, topped off right at the same time as the S&P did, and the SPY, pulled back pretty gradually. So nothing too special about this trade at this point, but we were calling it out from earlier today. The AMC trade going up. The Neo trade, this thing is just flat as can be. It was down big earlier today. We were calling it out right out the gate this morning, like I told you. Unfortunately, I did not get the trade I personally wanted. So I wish I could tell you I jumped in short right away and ran it down. I ended up getting a short later on off of 21, but I still left some money on the table. But just to say, this stock was pretty nice earlier today. Right now, I don't know. You tell me. It just goes to show I'm not gonna, fall in love with the stock here, right? I follow Neo to a day-to-day basis. I do all right on it day to day, but this is not looking too good in either direction, up or down. All right, so let's see, folks. Anything else that's looking good here on the percent gainers or losers list? From Trader K, it says Sky K worth watching or worth having on a chart. I'm watching the level 3, I think they're saying. All right, so let's see. Yeah, it's up like 30, 31%. So that right away piques my interest a bit. It's just got a thin book, nothing truly standing out there. Maybe a strong blast over the VWAP, but I don't like the 5 minute bar that we saw here where it ended up blasting over 3. And then it made a really big shake back down. That leads me to think it's just going to kind of stumble into the close. And if it does pop, then I would expect 3 to be resistance, maybe 305 on a false breakout, then for it to slam back down. But I'm not going to put this on our list just yet. The order book's a little too thin for my liking. If it was more liquid, then I'd definitely give it a look, just given how much it's up percentage wise. But yeah, if there's no big money to follow, and if our whole MO is to follow the big money, it's kind of tough, right? Like that's what I say to myself. Like seriously, when I'm trading, I'm like, all right, well, this book map's hard to read, or this order book is hard to read. I'm like, all right, well, Shouldn't I be following something like that's easy for me to make money on? So that's all. All right, folks, I think that just about does it. PX, oh no, that one's not even trading enough volume. Let me just sift my Benzinga Pro here, scan just for a quick moment. Just got to filter it out really briefly. Fun, Viru, TBLT, none of these are really making a good move right now. Latest says, suppose ORMP going anywhere. All right, that one at the end, we'll see. This one looking a little bit more liquid, at least on the order book. It is pushing up pretty nicely. You would really want to see the volume continue, at least from over the last like 2-3 minutes. If it continues to wane down like it was off the last spike that we had, then I'd only expect for this to dump off. But I mean, it's, making a nice little move. I'll keep it on our side list for right now. It's not up or down a whole lot percentage wise. That's like, one of the things I want to follow something that's up more, down more, where there's more eyeballs on that stock, or if it's trading just a lot of volume across the whole day, one of the top volume trades. Just, that's something that you would see a lot more people look to scan for. So that's where we base it off of. This could just be a great side list stock. Tradable. But also shortable. So if it ends up crapping out going the complete other way, just saying that could be a pretty interesting trade then, right? All right, so folks, I'll tell you, I think that I like the list as is. We got 4 stocks on there: the KSPN, the Viru, MREO, and PTON. Those 4 at least to begin. And hey, we got plenty of time. So let's start with this list for right now. Then at like 3 o'clock or even like 2:55-ish in about like 8 or so minutes, if there's anything else that looks pretty good, then we'll look to rescan the market at that point. Rich will jump on the mic, from 3 to 4 for those of us not joining me in class. And then, we'll see if there's anything else moving with the market perhaps at that point going forward. All right, for all of us on Facebook Live, YouTube, how about this? If you wanted to join our live trading room for tomorrow's exclusive workshop, Traders Talk, that's our weekly live Q&A that we host every week inside the live trading room. And I say that now more than ever because we came off our morning class earlier today, kind of just going over the basics as a newly onboarded, enrolled student. Just to say, every Tuesday we do our live Traders Talk workshop inside the Cyber Group room. So, of course, that goes for all of us, there in the room right now, all of our members and students alike. If you can hear my beautiful voice, then you got Traders Talk for tomorrow. So any questions that you have, send over via email, josh@ctutrading.com. But even more so now than ever, that goes for all of us on social media. If you wanted to join for tomorrow's workshop, just go right down to the link on the yellow banner below to sign up. But any questions that you have, any trading related questions that you have about our call outs, icebergs, level 4, send it over, josh@ctutrading.com. And we'll be sure to break it down all at the top of the hour at 11 o'clock come tomorrow morning. All right, for all of us in the room right now, just give me a quick moment. I'm going to post and tweet the picks. Then we're going to repost the link for class. I'm gonna just click on that link pretty early myself, so I'm all squared away with the tech and audio. And I look forward to seeing all of us there. Take care.
Become a Cyber Group member today. Just click the link below and receive all these amazing products and a world of knowledge for just $9. Do it today.